Rev up your engines! Okay, now people say I don't like Dodges. It's true to some extent, but here's one. We're gonna see what shape is in it. It's a 2016. The guy bought it used, and he paid less than 20 for it, with about 25,000 miles. So you might think, hey, how did he do that in this coronavirus? Everybody's jacking prices up. Well, he made kind of a smart decision. The outside, all the Challengers pretty much look the same. Classic muscle car, but it's a 3.6 liter V6 engine in it. Now, same thing with Mustangs. If you want to get a used one and you're not a maniac, get the V6 engine. Because the guys that get the V8s, they rag the heck out of them. I've seen guys blow engines in the V8s with 15, 18,000 miles because they're just revving the hell out of them. But it puts out 306 horsepower. If you're not happy with 306 horsepower, then you're insane. You're just one of those nuts that wants to go too fast. This is plenty enough horsepower to get you around. It looks exactly the same on the outside. If you're looking at one like him, if this thing would have had a V8 engine in it, there's no way he could have touched it for 20 grand with 25,000 miles on it. No way. Everybody wants the V8s, and so that's where the money goes. It looks the same. It's got plenty enough horsepower to get itself around, but you don't have to pay the big bucks. He's been driving this thing relatively hard. He's got 52,000 miles. So we're going to stick my old computer and take a look, see what's happening inside. So we'll push the little button and we'll turn that down and we'll do diagnostic. You can see the inside is nice. I mean, check out the steering column, black and chrome. And it's got the automatic and manual shift if you want to shift it manually. Now, it's got an automatic transmission that's 8-speed. This particular one doesn't have any particular problems with it, and it's good enough for that horsepower, but it really wouldn't hold up if you had 700-something horsepower. It can handle 305 horsepower. Like I said, it couldn't handle 700, but nobody's souping these things up that much. They're only souping up the V8s, which is another reason you might buy one of these. There's less things to go wrong. You notice there's a seat. They had a 3-year-old girl in the back. And strangely enough, his wife is the one who found this car for him. She likes it. Most women do not want their husbands to have a muscle car, especially with a 3-year-old kid. But, hey, she picked it up for him. Now, she got all the information, so we'll do a diagnosis, auto scan, and here we go. Yeah, you can see a nice big text, speedometer, cruise control, stereo control, light intensity. We get to the middle. You can have regular, you can have sport, you can turn the traction control off. Well, it's done now. You see there's a few codes, so we'll start out with the BCM. Read the codes, and let's see what codes are popping up. Body control module. Low beam control, circuit short to battery. The control, but the lights work fine. And humidity sensor module. Well, we'll erase those stupid codes. I don't think we really need the humidity sensor. Oh, we'll go on. HVAC system's got a code, and that's a notorious problem on these. They have a problem inside the dash for all the modes. They got a problem in there, so we'll see what this one is. It's probably the same that they always have. Right temperature door travel too large, yeah, and it makes a little noise in there, but it still works. We'll check the rest of the stuff. Integrated center stack. Let's see what that code is. Integrated center stack button stuck. Again, it's stuff in the dash. He knows about that. Erase that. And the last code is the driver's door module. Problem when you have all this computerized crap, you get codes that you don't really care about. Hall switch is stuck. You really don't care about that either. We'll erase that. Start her up. And we'll look at some live data. Voltage is fine. Transmission data is good. Ignition system's good. This is a modern car. It's got intelligent battery sensor systems on it. It may look like an old Challenger, but it is completely computerized. Fuel terms are normal. Everything seems okay, so let's take it for a spin. Now, if he drives 80, 90 miles on a highway, he gets 21 miles a gallon. Try that with a Hemi V8. You'll probably get 3 miles a gallon or something. So the V6 engines, they got plenty enough power, but they're gonna get you better gas mileage too. He's a lot bigger than me, so I'm moving the seat up and we'll put it in reverse and back we go. Notice it idles smooth as can be. It's a smooth idling car. You don't need a big V8 to get a smooth idle. We're gonna go slow over the bump. We don't want to drag anything, and here we go. You notice it's a pretty quiet car too. Guys with the Hemis put loud exhaust, want to make a lot of noise. This is a lot quieter, peaceful car, but when you want to go, it'll go. You can see it's in traction control sport now. I pushed the button, so I'll have a little more zip. And of course, it is a muscle car on these bumpy roads in Rhode Island. You're gonna feel the bumps. It's not a luxury car. It is a muscle car for zooming around it. And as we wait for the traffic to clear, it is officially lunchtime. So there's going to be a lot of people we're going to have to wait for. Although there is a stoplight over there. So we're just coming. Here we go. We'll give it some gas. Certainly doesn't throw you back in the seat like the Hemi, but it's got plenty of pickup. Smooth shifting 8-speed transmission. It's handled its mileage quite well. It still shifts like a dream. And it's got 50-something thousand miles on it now. Fun car to drive around, and hey, it's a nice looking car. Turns head. I'm just amazed that his wife actually picked it up. Most women with 3-year-old daughters are not going to help their husband get themselves a Dodge Challenger. Be it a V6 though. Step on the gas, see what it does. Like I say, it's got plenty of pickup, but it gets you where you're going, and it's a lot of fun to drive. Plus, you're going to get a lot better gas mileage, you have cheaper insurance, and you'll pay a ton less for one of these used with a 6-cylinder instead of the 8, because all the race boys want the big Hemi V8, and they want to get one that puts out 750 horsepower. 305 isn't enough for them. So we'll put the traction control back on again, make it back to normal driving. So, yes, it isn't the hell-raising 750 horsepower crazy Hemi engine, which is probably a good thing because it's got plenty of get up and go with 305 horsepower, but you're not going to get in trouble as easily, believe me. I drove a 765 horsepower one back in Tennessee, and it scared the bejesus out of me because it just had so much power. What a lot of people don't understand is tires have to do with you're driving an awful lot. These are street tires, they work fine. If you have 750 horsepower or more, you really need racing tires. Because if you don't, that 750 plus horsepower is just going to be spinning your tires. You're going to be losing traction. You're going to have all kinds of problems with it. Some of it is just overkill. This is not overkill. It felt totally controllable at full acceleration, and I had turned off the traction control, so that wasn't working anymore, and I had no problems at all. If it had been 765 horsepower or more, now if I turned that off, I would have gone on a different road. I'd gone on one that wouldn't have any traffic on it, and then I wouldn't care if I was sliding a little here or a little there. But this is totally controllable, and it looks exactly the same as the V8s. It's just a different engine under the hood. Now, he put these nice New Englander tires all season, and he said he used them in the winter. It doesn't ride good in the winter anyways, because it's a muscle car that's rear-wheel drive. It's going to spin around. You know that's what's going to happen. And, of course, you did get a black car, so all the bird poop's going to show up. So there we have it, a Dodge Challenger. Fun to drive. Not horrible on gas. Got it a lot cheaper than you would have ever gotten a V8 engine, and it's still 305 horsepower is a lot of power. If you're looking for a muscle car, you don't want to spend a small fortune, and you're not a maniac, and you're happy with 305 horsepower. Hey, if you got a wife like his that'll let you get it, go and get one. Hey, nice looking car, decent gas mileage. Unlike the Hemis, the gas just goes in one end and comes out the other. You're going to spend a fortune. The tires are going to wear out faster. The brakes are going to wear out faster. The transmission's going to wear out faster. And one of these, hey, it could be going on the road for quite some time. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Delano says, I'm losing coolant in a 2021 Camry SE. The coolant reservoir is almost empty. So I drove it to work. The engine was hot open again. It was still below L. I checked the dipstick, oil was clean, car doesn't have overheating issue. What could it be? Should I refill the coolant? Well, numero uno, put the coolant right on the line in the middle. See what happens. Somebody could have just not filled it up correctly, right? And it's a 2021, it shouldn't have any problems. And then just watch it. Now, that level can change over time because if the engine gets a little hotter, it can put a little bit more, it might be a little higher, sometimes a little bit lower. But as long as it stays, within the minimum and maximum lines, it's totally fine. Now, if you keep losing it, but you're not overheating and there's no water going into the engine oil, it could be as simple as you got a bad radiator cap. Just buy another radiator cap, because if that's weak, it can make some of it evaporate, and then that coolant thing will go down. And of course, look around to make sure there aren't any loose clamps or hoses, especially going to the overflow. Maybe the overflow clamp fell off, or maybe it's loose. Some of them don't even have clamps on them. They just go on if they don't put it on, and put a little clamp so it doesn't suck air or anything. Either you got a loose radiator cap or something else in most cases, because it's a 2021 Camry. They generally don't have any problems that early, right? And it could just be that nobody ever filled it up right in the first place if you didn't notice it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.